From self-love to social comparison, Rousseau's criticism of early education. Have you ever heard about the new Korean law that bans level tests for young children? Its purpose is to reduce excessive academic pressure and stress on children. According to research by the Korean Children and Youth Center and UNICEF, 1 out of 2 Korean children experience stress from academic burden, which is one of the highest rate in the world. However, this law alone cannot solve the fundamental problem. Many parents still believe that early education is necessary so that their children will not fall behind others. As a result, many children are evaluated from a very young age. They are forced to take tests, compare scores, and compete with others early in life. But what happens when children begin to define their value through comparison? Today, I would like to introduce some ideas from Jean-Jacques Rousseau's book Emile and apply them to this modern educational problem. First, we should understand Rousseau's theory of human nature. Rousseau believed that human beings are naturally good. However, this does not mean that humans are perfectly good from birth. Rather, he believed that people naturally grow toward goodness when proper conditions are provided. I understood this idea like the growth of a plant. A plant naturally grows upward, but its shape can become distorted depending on the environment. In the same way, human beings also grow differently depending on their social environment and education. Therefore, education should provide children with support, stability, and encouragement so that they can maintain their natural goodness and continue developing in a healthy way. Rousseau argued that children originally possess a natural form of self-love. This is not selfish pride. It is a basic desire to live, grow, and preserve oneself peacefully. In this state, people do not constantly compare themselves with others. A child can feel valuable simply by existing as themselves, not because they are better than someone else. However, Rousseau believed that society often corrupts this natural tendency. Society encourages people to seek recognition, status, and superiority. Under such conditions, natural self-love becomes distorted. I think this idea strongly relates to modern education today. When children are pushed into competition too early, they begin to measure their worth through grade, ranking, and the opinions of others. Imagine a child who is constantly compared with classmates through exams. Instead of believing in their own value, the child may begin to think, I am only valuable if I am better than others. This way of thinking can also create discrimination and social division because people begin assigning superiority and inferiority to difference. Rousseau's ideas are still meaningful today because many educational systems focus heavily on comparison and competition. His philosophy reminds us that education should protect a child's inner growth before pushing them into social competition. I believe the purpose of education is not to create superior people, but to take people remain fully human. Thank you for listening.